Hi Mr. Snow, thanks for coming in to meet with me today. I know the commute is a bit of a pain, so I really do appreciate you making the effort. I just wanted to have a quick chat with you about how the program is going so far. Now, I understand from what you've told me that you're feeling quite frustrated. So what I really want to do is work out a plan that'll help you get the most out of the program and put you in a more positive mindset moving forward. First off, I just wanted to emphasize again that the court does have the power to amend your treatment order. This is actually a really good thing for us, as it means that the court can help in making the counselling sessions more accessible to you. On the other hand, it does mean that the court can impose further conditions on your order. And if it's felt that you aren't taking the program seriously, you could be required to complete another 40 hours of community service, or in the worst case, have the treatment order terminated completely, which could result in you serving actual prison time. Now, obviously this is the worst case scenario, and I'm sure that it's not going to come to this. I'm very confident that together we can develop a strategy that'll have you feeling a lot better about the program. So let's talk about what we want to achieve today. Now, I think first off, we should focus on the group sessions themselves and how we can work to get the most out of them, so I have a bit of a better idea how you feel when you attend them. Then after that, we can move on to talk about your difficulties getting to and from the sessions. Does that sound okay to you? Great. Now, let's just go over what you've told me about the sessions. So I understand that you missed the last few because you don't really feel like they're relevant, and that the counsellor is just sort of going through the motions and letting everyone talk about whatever they want in this sort of unstructured format. It's really good that you feel like you can share these things with me so I can get a better idea of how you're feeling and work with you to move forward. Now, it seems like you were enthusiastic about the sessions when you started, and that's really great to see that you're motivated to improving yourself. As you know, the counselling sessions are a really important part of the program, but in saying that, I can fully understand why you might be feeling frustrated. You seem like a very direct, to-the-point guy, which is a really good thing, but not everyone is like that. Well, I think that over time you'll get to see why the counsellor is running the sessions in this sort of unstructured way. I think what he might be trying to do is create a space for others and yourself to talk freely about any problems and concerns that they may have going on in their life. It's really important for him to create a safe, trusting environment where people feel like they can share anything without judgment. It might actually be really helpful for you to listen a bit more in these sessions, as a lot of the people there are going through problems very similar to yours. And it would be great if you could sort of hear how they go about solving these problems and how they deal with the different things that are going on in their life. I think that that could be really beneficial for you. Now, in saying that, I'm really not an expert on this topic, so if you feel like it would be beneficial, I'd be more than happy to arrange a meeting between yourself, me, and the counsellor so we can have a better idea of his method and whether there's anything he can do to help you get some more out of the sessions. I know he'd be more than happy to hear what does and doesn't work for you. Just like me, he wants to see you succeed and wants to see you get the most out of the sessions. So now let's talk about the problems actually getting to and from the sessions. You mentioned that it's a bit of a hassle having to travel on a commuter train, and that you're unhappy with the cost. Now, I understand that sitting on a packed train for 45 minutes early in the morning might turn you off going to the sessions, especially if you feel like you're not getting anything out of them. Now, the last thing I want is for you to go into those sessions feeling upset or anxious because you've been cooped up on a train for an extended period of time. Now, as a solution, we can make an application to the court to amend your program so that you can attend a session at a different time, or we can look into finding a treatment session a bit closer to home. It's important to note, though, that before the court can make any amendments, they will look at how you've complied with the treatment order so far. So in the meantime, we should work out a plan to get you back into the sessions and getting the most out of them. Also in the meantime, we could apply to the court for some funding so you could get a taxi to and from the sessions and avoid those packed trains. Now, this probably won't cover the full taxi fare to and from the sessions, but I'm sure the court would be very happy to do anything that would make the process more manageable for you. Just like me, the judge wants to see you succeed in the program, and it's important that we can talk about these topics freely. Now, I also feel like we should address the incident that happened on the train. Just to be clear, anything that you tell me is strictly confidential, and nobody at the court is going to know any of this unless you otherwise instruct me. To be honest with you though, I think not disclosing it would be a mistake. I know you say there was no one there to see it, but in this day and age with cameras, the odds are against us. If you weren't to disclose it, it could really harm your credibility moving forward and might lead to further conditions being imposed on your sentence. For me to make the court aware of this incident, however, and your criticisms of the counselling sessions, I will need your consent. So what do you think about that? Alright, there may be some consequences that flow from this. Willful damage to property is an offence, but under the circumstances, especially if you're honest about it and show that you're remorseful, and in light of what you've told me today, I think the court will agree that it's a circumstance not likely to be repeated. Well, I think that that's everything today, unless you had anything further that you wanted to discuss. Thank you very much for coming in. I think we've made some really great progress in addressing these issues. Again, I just want to emphasize that everything you've said here is confidential, and I can't reveal any of it to the court unless you instruct me to do so. And as I've said, I'm always just a phone call away. So I think that that's it. Thank you very much for coming in, Mr. Snow.